Hello and welcome to day 5 of my craft room clear out series, using my stamp sets one last time before I say goodbye. And today I have this celebration stamp set from way back called Sweet Summer, but it is really cute, and so I thought I'd make quite a nice card. I have broken out some of my Stampin' blends, and I have checked Stampin' Up do still sell these, so I'm going to have a go and see how I get on colouring. It's been a long time, so it may take a while. Okay, let's get to it. So because we're using blends, we need to use Memento black ink and regular Whisper White cardstock for the top layer. Now I'm going to do a base and a layer behind it, so I'm going to cut this Whisper White to 9.5 centimeters by 13.8. That will allow a 5mm border plus a 5mm border for the card base. So while we have the trimmer out, I might as well cut the card base and the layer. So I'm going to go with a pool party card base, and I am going to make this a top folding card again, but because I'm doing a landscape card, then I need to make sure that I cut it the right way. So let's go with 14.8 that way. It looks like I need a new blade in there, and then score at 10.5, which gives you a regular size card, shaped card, but if you turn it on its side, then it gives you the top folding look that I like. Fold that. And then this is Pear Pizzazz. Again, not sure if they still sell this. And that will be 14.3 by 10. And that'll be the layer. So we've got Pool Party base, Pear Pizzazz layer, with a Whisper White top. So because this is a wood mount stamp set, and I want to get the stems and the flowers actually sitting on the stems, I'm going to get out my Old Faithful Stamp-A-Majig. Again, I think this is one of the first things I bought from Stampin' Up, so it's a good 15 years old. And so to use this, I'm sure you know, so you hold the handle, put the sheet in of it's rough plastic, I suppose, bit sort of like thicker acetate, and then grab your stamp set, grab your stamp, ink it up, lock it into the corner, press down and lift, and then you can pop that wherever you want that to go. Put the acetate down on the card, lock the handle back into it, remove the acetate, stamp it up again, ink it up again, lock it into the handle, and it will stamp exactly where it showed you on the acetate. And so if you've got a lot of images, I do recommend cutting some spare pieces of acetate. So I think I should be all right with the one for this, because I'm only going to use 3 of the flowers. But I am going to stamp the flower on next to get the positioning right. So ink that. That. So do try and make sure that we have the Stampin' Up words at the bottom, so that we know that we've got the stamp the same way up as you've stamped it onto the acetate. Let's do the stem again. Let's do that a bit lower this time. Okay, I'm going to fast forward this because I'm sure you don't want to watch me stamp all of these in slow motion. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. So this just cleans off with a wet wipe. And you saw there that all I did once I've stamped it onto there once, because you use that as the top, then you know which way your stamp goes on there. And so you can just reuse the same images. So just don't clean it off until the end. And then you can just reuse the images as many times as you need. And then the other image I'm going to use from this set is just the bee, but I'm just going to freehand that. It does also come with a swirl, like a swirly leaf thing, a butterfly, a spare leaf, and a bird. Quite a versatile little stamp set actually. So if you want to see me work through the rest of my stamp collection, I am currently up to about 181. So, I mean, we've got a ways to go here, and hopefully you'll enjoy seeing what I find, and maybe even get some of your own stamp sets out and reuse those. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. And obviously I am also selling my stamp sets on eBay. So this is week 1. I'm on day 5. So the first 5 stamp sets are on eBay at the moment on an auction. They will finish on Sunday. And then once they're gone, they're gone. Okay, so I haven't done any colouring for a really long time, but we're going to give it a while. So the colours I have here, just so you know, Granny Apple Green, Purple Posy, Seaside Spray, Daffodil Delight, and Pink Pirouette. So let's give this a whirl. So I'm going to start with a dark colour, and I'm going to use the thin end because quite a lot of these have been sat. I have thrown a couple away, and I'm just going to colour in just a small area at a time because I don't want the ink to completely dry. So like I say, it's been a long time since I've done any colouring at all. All I'm doing is colouring a bit of the dark in and then blending it using the lighter colour to soften the shadows. Let's do the flower next. So I'm just going to concentrate on where would be the darkest. So this would be a really nice stamp set to watercolour with. So instead of using Memento, you would use Stays On to stamp these images, and then you could watercolour them quite easily. I mean, it's very basic colouring, but you know, you get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this because we've got a bit of colouring to do and it'll be a very long video. And so I'll see you the other side. Okay, so that's all the colouring done. I'm going to just add a little, I might do that in the end actually. I am going to add this to the Pear Pizzazz card layer to start with, and then I'm going to add some ribbon to that. So let's do that first. So this on the back is where the alcohol pen comes through. That's totally normal. Don't worry about that. And I found this lovely gingham ribbon, bumblebee gingham ribbon in my stash. I thought I might just tie a little bow around the bottom. Let's see. So overhang the ribbon a couple of inches, leave it on the roll, right over like that, and then let's tie a little knot. Hold it with your finger, loop up with the loose end. So pull the ribbon nice and loose so that it's easy to work with. This will go back on the roll, so you're not going to waste it. So loop up with the loose end and then over and up with the side that's attached to the roll. And put your fingers in the ears so that you don't flatten them as you're pulling it tight. And then just fiddle about with it for a bit. So trim that like that, and that's there, and then that's all the wastage you get if you leave it on the roll. If you try and cut it, then you end up wasting so much ribbon. So I'm just gonna move that down and across. So don't worry too much about where your bow sits until you finish tying it, because you can always move it around. And then I'm going to add that to the card base, which is the pool party one we cut earlier. I am just going to glue that on because I think the ribbon is enough of a statement. Squeeze gently, move fast with Tombow, because you don't want big blobs of glue. And then just for extra security, I think I'm just going to pop a little glue dot behind that bow. Big glue dots. Let's fold that in half. And there you have it. That's today's card, which is day 5 of my craft room clear out, and it uses an old Celebration Sweet Summer Celebration stamp set, Sweet Summer. And so I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, I'll be doing a video every day. I am going to add a bit of Winker Stella to the wings of the bees. But I will be using a different stamp set every Monday to Friday, every weekday, until I've run out of stamp sets. And I've got rather a lot, 180 at the moment, and I've still got some to count. So we'll be doing this for a while. So I hope you're enjoying this, and don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube so you get the notifications. And I'll be back Monday with another stamp set, but there will be a little review on Saturday on my Facebook and Instagram, and there will also be sneak peeks or a preview of what I'm going to use next week on Sunday for you. So thanks for watching today. Bye bye.